Manchester United fans, brace yourselves, because the latest transfer rumor doing the rounds in Europe sounds dramatic, ambitious, and almost impossible. Bruno Fernandes is once again at the center of transfer speculation. And this time, the club reportedly dreaming of pulling off the move is none other than Turkish giants Galatasaray. Yes, you heard that right. According to reports coming out of Germany via Sky Germany, Galatasaray have made the Manchester United captain their absolute dream target for the upcoming transfer window. Not a backup option. Not a secondary name. Their number one fantasy signing. But here's where the story gets really interesting. Because while Galatasaray may be dreaming, the reality of prying Bruno Fernandes away from Manchester United right now feels like trying to move a mountain with bare hands. Fernandes is not just having a good season, he is on the verge of making Premier League history. The Portuguese playmaker sits just 2 assists away from breaking the all-time record for most assists in a single Premier League campaign. That alone tells you the level he's operating at. At 33 years old, he is still the beating heart of this United team. Across all competitions this season, he has racked up an astonishing 28 goal involvements, proving once again that age has done nothing to slow his impact, influence, or energy levels. And it's exactly this relentless consistency that has caught the attention of top clubs across Europe. But Galatasaray's admiration for Fernandes is not new. In fact, the Turkish heavyweights already tried their luck back in January. They made an attempt to test the waters, hoping to tempt the United captain to Istanbul. Those efforts, however, were swiftly shut down before they could even gather momentum. Now, after watching Fernandes produce yet another masterclass campaign, their desire has only grown stronger. The Istanbul side reportedly sees him as the marquee signing capable of elevating them to a new level in European competition. A statement arrival. The type of player who changes how opponents view you before a ball is even kicked. They want him at Rams Park as the face of a new ambitious era. But here's the problem. This is not a player unsettled at his club. This is not a player nearing the end of his contract. And this is definitely not a player looking for one final payday. Fernandes is emotionally locked into Manchester United right now. We saw clear evidence of that during United's thrilling 3-2 victory over Liverpool recently, where the captain once again dragged his team through a high-pressure night with leadership, quality, and pure willpower. Under interim boss Michael Carrick, United have fought their way back into the Champions League places. The mood around Old Trafford has shifted. Hope has returned. And Fernandes has been central to that revival. Walking away from this project at this moment would make very little sense. His contract with Manchester United runs comfortably until June 2027. There is no urgency from the club's side. No pressure to sell. No financial need to cash in. And perhaps the biggest clue of all lies in what happened last summer. Fernandes was heavily linked with a staggering £200 million offer from Saudi Pro League side Al-Hilal. The kind of life-changing money that tempts even the most loyal players. But he said no. He turned down astronomical wages because of his deep connection to Manchester United, the badge, and the fans. So if he wasn't willing to leave for unbelievable Saudi riches, it becomes incredibly difficult to imagine him suddenly being convinced to swap Old Trafford for the Turkish Super League, especially now, with Champions League nights returning to the theatre of dreams. Galatasaray may view this as a dream opportunity. But for Fernandes, this feels like the start of something special at United, not the end. He is on the brink of personal history. He is leading a team back to Europe's biggest stage. And he is doing it as captain, as leader, and as the symbol of the club's resurgence. From Galatasaray's perspective, you can understand the ambition. Bringing in a player of Fernandes' stature would send shockwaves across European football. It would signal that they are serious about competing at the highest level again. But from Manchester United's side, letting him go right now would be unthinkable. Fernandes is not replaceable. Not in this market. Not in this moment. Not with what he represents both on and off the pitch. This isn't just about goals and assists. It's about mentality. Drive. Standards. Leadership. Everything that United are trying to rebuild, he already embodies. So while the rumors may continue to swirl and Galatasaray may continue to admire from afar, the reality remains clear. Bruno Fernandes is exactly where he wants to be. At Old Trafford. In red. Leading Manchester United back to the Champions League. And unless something extraordinary happens, that is not changing anytime soon.